Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 6. We'll be presenting about our discussion. And the first point of this material is about this history of the tourism, and that will be explained by myself. Let's start. Uh, History of tourism. There are a number of historical studies that relate to tourism. It is worth noting at this point, however, that very little mainstream historical research has so far permitted the corpus of tourism studies. Perhaps one of the first major studies of relevance to tourism history is by Friedlander's 1965 comprehensive examination of life and manners in the early Roman Empire. And for the next, maybe next century, for the medieval period, the work should be noted. Parks 1954 has made a detailed study of travel between England and Rome from Anglo-Saxon times to the early 16th century. A more recent study has been what Hans said from 1984, analysis of pilgrimage to the Holy Land in the 4th and 5th centuries, as well as detail of routes and travel infrastructure. Both studies gives insight into forms of tourism when travel conditions had become increasingly difficult. Um, and the next is about development and will be explained by Sophie.
Okay, the development of tourism. Big changes happened during the Industrial Revolution in Europe and North America. People start to get paid free time. Salaries increased and transport improved with the invention of the steam engine. Travel became easier, faster, and cheaper. However, until the early 28th century, most holidays were still limited to the home country. After the Second World War, tourism started to grow very quickly. People received higher wages, transport became cheaper and more comfortable, and they had more free time. Many men who had traveled abroad during the war also became the first in their families to go overseas for holidays, and this gave them interest to see foreign places again. In addition, the rise of movies and television showed people images of other countries and cultures. This created a strong desire for many to visit new places and experience different ways of life. Okay, that's all. The next present will be delivered by Anna.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Next is about the composition of the tourism industry. Tourism is not just one activity, it is a combination of many services and sectors that work together to provide a full travel experience. So in this unit, the tourism industry is explained as a partnership between the public sector, which is the government, and the private sector, which is the businesses. The first one is public sector or the government role. The government plays an important part in supporting and developing tourism. It doesn't always serve tourists directly, but it creates the condition for tourism to grow by the first one is making policies and plans. So the government play roles for deciding how tourism should develop. The second is licensing and regulating. So it's setting rules for hotels, tour operators, and other businesses. The third is marketing and promotion. So it's attracting tourists through the campaigns. The fourth is training and human resource development. So it's ensuring skilled workers in the industry. The last one is building infrastructure. So it's providing roads, airports, clean water, electricity, and other facilities. In many countries, there is a National Tourism Organization or NTO that coordinates all these activities to improve the tourism sector. The second is about the private sector or business role. The private sector provides the actual services and experiences tourists pay for. These are the commercial businesses that aim to make a profit. Main services includes the first one is transport. There are airlines, cruise ships, trains, buses, and car rentals. The second is accommodation, so there are hotels, guest houses, resorts, and hostels. Next is food and beverage, so there are restaurants, cafes, and catering services. Next is entertainment and activities, so there are attractions, events, cultural activities, sports, and tours. So without these services, tourism will not exist. They create the product that tourists enjoy. And the last one is how they work together. So the public sector builds the foundation and ensures the quality standards. The private sector creates and delivers the tourism product. Together, they make tourism possible. For example, the government builds an airport and private airlines use it to bring the tourists. And the tourism industry is a system where government and businesses work hand in hand. If one part is weak, for example, bad infrastructure for services or lack of regulation, so the whole tourist experience suffers. Okay, that's all from me. Next material will be delivered by Diva, please.
Okay, so for tourism product, a tourism product is the total experience purchased and consumed by a tourist, consisting of combination of services, activities, and attraction offered at a destination. The tourism product is the package and marketable experience that creates value for the tourist. It is characterized as intangible, an experience rather than the physical good, composite made up of several interrelated components, perishable, cannot stored or reused once missed, and experiential. The main value lies in the memories and satisfaction gain. For instance, in Krabi, Thailand, the components include natural beaches, island attractions, hotels, local transport, seafood restaurants, and cultural shows. When these are combined into a 4 days, 3 nights Krabi island hopping package, including airport pickup, accommodation, snorkeling tours, island visits, and dining experiences, they form a complete tourism product that tourists can book and enjoy as one integrated experience. So, in short, while tourism components are the essential elements that make tourism possible, the tourism product is the assembled, consumable package that tourists actually purchase. It transforms various services and attraction into a unified, memorable travel experience, making it the core offering of the tourism industry. That's all. And the next explanation will be presented by Ghea.
All right. How we can protect the environment for the benefit of tourism? Tourism defends a lot of nature and culture. That's why protecting the environment is the same as protecting tourism. But sometimes tourism can also create problems. For example, unplanned development, pollution, untreated sewage, or too much waste. Waste can damage coral reefs, forests, and even local communities. So we need to manage tourism carefully. There are three groups who play a role. First, the government by making good plans, building regulations, hotel licensing, and strong rules for waste management. Second, the tourism industry, like hotels and tour operators, they can save water and energy, manage rubbish properly, and remind visitors about conservation. And third, us as individuals. Simple habits like turning off unused lights, not wasting water, throwing trash in the right place, or avoiding souvenirs made from endangered species really help. When we protect the environment, we protect the future of tourism. A clean and healthy destination makes tourists happy, supports the economy, and keeps our nature and culture safe for future generations. So next, we'll present by Hana.
All right, thank you guys. So I will describe what a tour operator does. So historically, as travel became accessible, tour operators emerged to first organize transportation, like train, ship, or later airplane. And second, provide accommodation arrangement. And third, create holiday package to seaside resorts or spas. And fourth, help travelers who were inexperienced or fearful of foreign travel. And last, tour operators thus acted as as intermediaries, making tourism easier, safe, and more organized for the masses. So that's all. That's all from us. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.